Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Pug's Thoughts in the Doghouse. I'm Pug, and here's what I'm thinking. So, we're in the middle of football season, and I had to get the mid-season review for the Wildcats out of the way because it was midway through their season. And they got a month to go, and then they're done. So, and unlike the NFL and Washington Huskies season goes a little longer, so we'll have plenty of time to talk about what the Seahawks and the Huskies are doing, which I do plan to do. But I can't put this off any longer. Have to acknowledge the Seattle Storm. The Seattle Storm won the WNBA championship. I really wish that I could have posted something on the night that they won a championship because I was cheering. I actually was at a bar. They had the game on here in Chelan, and it was great times. Got to finally see a team that was frankly overdue for a championship go all the way. Now, I don't really mind if you're laughing at this jersey that I'm wearing, Lauren Jackson, who got the MVP of the series. But this championship does a lot for Seattle. It really does, and I don't think people realize what the Storm have done for Seattle. First of all, they have put the last couple of years in perspective. Because when it comes down to it, this championship is for the die-hard fans. Okay, die-hard fans who root for every team in Seattle. That's what I do. You know, the Seahawks, Mariners, Sounders FC, Seattle Thunderbirds, our junior hockey league team, the Huskies. I feel like I'm outside the Storm. I feel like I'm leaving one out, but I think I covered all of them. But the Storm were a part of those teams that were disappointing. And also the Storm has had playoff collapse after playoff collapse after playoff collapse. So they were our one chance in 2008 to celebrate, where we could celebrate over a team winning a championship when they had Sue Bird, Lauren Jackson, Swim Cash, Yolanda Griffith, and Cheryl Swoops all in just their starting lineup. So it puts those years in perspective. Seattle finally has a winner, and finally can hang their head to the Storm and salute them for what they've done. They joined the 1917 Seattle Metropolitans. They won the Stanley Cup against the Montreal Canadiens, and the 1979 Seattle Supersonics, who won the NBA Finals. So, congratulations to them. That's what they've done to Seattle. But they've also done a lot more. First of all, they've with Seattle winning this championship and still supporting the Storm, it shows everybody that Seattle still, in fact, cares about basketball. Now, Seattle was always a basketball city, and we never stopped caring about the sport of basketball. But the thing is, I think what happened was with the Sonics moving, it threw people off. But the thing that you don't know about Seattle is at the time, we not only cared about the Storm and the Sonics when the Sonics were around, but we cared at the college level with the Huskies, and we also care about the high schools. The high school basketball is pretty big in Seattle. With Rainier Beach, Rainier Beach, Franklin, and Garfield High School. Those are just some of the basketball teams who have had players move up through the college ranks and are now playing in the NBA. Natives of Seattle are Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson, and Brandon Roy. And I'm not so sure what Spencer Hawes is doing, but I know that he at one point had a contract. I lost track of him though. That's because I stopped really following the NBA when the Sonics left. So it shows the world that we still care about basketball on any level. Because frankly, when it comes to Seattle sports, our deadliest secret is we hate the NBA, but we still care. And we still follow it. We still care about Kobe Bryant hoisting up a championship. And we're angry about it. We're still watching LeBron. We're still watching the Celtics. A lot of Seattle fans are following the Trailblazers because right now they're the only Northwest team. Granted, I am one of those fans who can't do that because I hate Portland teams with a passion, but that's just me. A lot of people are doing that. They're still following the NBA. And this shows the world and the country that we still care about basketball. Because the Storm, they do draw a good crowd, particularly for the WNBA. And what they do is they close down the upper bowl for the key arena, and they just have the lower bowl during regular games. Well, for the WNBA finals, they opened up the upper bowl, and they still sold out. The Atlanta Dream, the team that the Seattle Storm took down, didn't do that. The Phoenix Mercury didn't do that. So it shows you that we still can pack a basketball arena and still support a basketball team. And then finally what the Storm have done is they've shown that you can, even though the WNBA is struggling in terms of stability, that teams are moving, teams are folding, there's still some tweaks with the WNBA, but a lot of WNBA teams now have local television contracts. The marketing for the league is still not what it needs to be, but they are making a little money. For many years they just were breaking even. Now they're starting to make a little dough because of these television contracts and sponsors. And the thing that Seattle and even Atlanta did when they played each other in the finals is they showed that a WNBA team can in fact compete, even though they are independent from the NBA, because a lot of WNBA fans tried to break away from their NBA teams and they folded right away. The Charlotte Sting being an example. And now we have independents in Chicago, Atlanta, Seattle, and the fact that we had two independent organizations surviving and making money on their own is a great sign for the league. The WNBA still has a long way to go until it becomes the NBA. And frankly, I think it will be really good as soon as the league expands and it finally can have that 30-team market. But when it comes down for what it is, it's still a league that's growing. The competition has gotten a lot better since the Storm has joined the league, and it's really I do enjoy watching their games, and I've been watching their games since 2004. So thanks to the Seattle Storm for winning the championship. Got to give them the kudos. They finally did it, and the reason why I didn't film a lot of videos for the Storm is because I knew they were going to go to the playoffs. It was just a matter of what seed did they get and how far can they go. And this year they were able to pull it together, and Lauren Jackson ends up getting an MVP award. And hopefully we can keep the core of the team intact. Well, I do think the Seattle Storm needs to find Lauren Jackson's and Sue Bird's replacement because they're getting a little old. But for now, we'll celebrate the championship, and thank you very much, Seattle Storm, for winning the 4th professional championship in Seattle sports history. So thank you very much for doing that. Go Storm, go Seattle. It's a proud time to be a Storm fan, proud time to be a Seattle fan, and now this is what we have to cheer about. And I want to thank the Atlanta Dream for the great competition. We only won those games by 3 and 4 points each of those games. Before that, we took down the LA Sparks, which ultimately was a blowout, but our big competition was the Phoenix Mercury, the defending champions. And so you guys played well. Kudos. And, we're going to celebrate this, and we're going to enter next year for the first time since 2005 as the defending WNBA champions. So congratulations to the Seattle Storm. Thanks for watching another installment of the Pug's Thoughts in the Doghouse.